Okay, so today we are looking at the Solon High School Media Services website. The first stakeholder that we are going to be talking about are the students. Now, what really helps the students, in my opinion, is the Follett shelf right here. And if you click on it, I'm not going to click on it here, but I've got it open in another page. What it does is it has all of the books that are in and out in the library, so the students can see what they can check out. And if they're not sure what they want, they can also search by topic. So say I want a fantasy book. And I think that one looks pretty cool, so I'm going to look at that one. And it gives me a nice description of what the book is about, what the interest level is, when it's published, where it's located. And what I really like is it also has books that are similar to this one, so after the kids finish reading this one, they can move on to one that's similar to it. Some of the books have reviews, and this one doesn't. But what this does is it really helps the kids narrow down what they're looking for, and if they can find a book that they like, they're more likely to come back into the library and read some more, and that's always a good thing. Now, one area of development I would say is that the school website here doesn't really have any activities in the library mentioned. And it does have the daily bulletin right here showing things that are happening in the school. But in the blog, it's mentioned that they had a book club, but nowhere on this website that I could find anyway does it say that it's still going, what days they meet, or what books they're reading. So somewhere on here, it would be nice to see some representation for that. The second stakeholder that we're going to talk about are the parents. One of the things that helps the parents are these classroom links. And yes, it does help the students, but it also helps the parents because they can see what's going on inside the classrooms. Like if you click on the finished book trailer list. In here, you get to see some of the finished book trailers that the students submitted. So if a parent wanted to see what they were looking at or what their student was working on, they could come and just check it out. Now, one area of development for the parents could be an additional entry of faculty contact information with planning periods. The only faculty information that you have is on the librarian herself, which is right up here, and the media associate. What the parents would find useful would be the information on their teachers, on their students' teachers, and possibly what planning periods they have. If they needed to meet with the teacher, this information would be really helpful for them. You can tell that the librarian is very active in the core classrooms by looking at the classroom links. It's a nice long list of classroom links. If you click on the links, you can see that the librarian has given some handy-dandy links to help them with research. It also tells them how to do some of the research. So you can tell that the librarian knows what's going on in the classroom and is helping the students find what they need through that. One thing that could be an area of development with these classroom links is a little bit more representation for the non-core classes. Like you can tell there are a lot of language arts and sciences and history links, but you don't really see any of the arts or any of those kind of classes in here. And it would be good to show that the librarian isn't just there for the core classes or the tested classes, but the librarian is there for all of the classes at the school. One of the other areas of development that I saw was a need for a little bit more organization and updating. If you look at the very beginning of the page, it looks really cramped and kind of cluttered. So it's hard to find what you're looking for. If they organized it just a little bit better, it would be a little bit more streamlined, easier to find things, and you'd see more traffic on the website. One thing that I think could use a little bit more development is with the organization is it looks like the classroom links have just kind of been thrown in at the bottom when they're one of the most helpful things on the page. So I would find a way to organize it a little bit better to make it a little bit more streamlined. And that's all that we have here. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really good media service website, and have a good night.